Alright, so as you can hear, it's a pretty rainy day. I'm kind of stuck in my shelter, not able to continue working on it at the moment. So I figured I'd go over what I carry with me in my day pack and on my person whenever I go hiking or go for a day camp or overnight. Obviously some changes depending on how long you're going to be out in the woods. But we'll start left to right here. Start at the top. So with my system, I actually carry 3 tarps. One I use as a ground sheet, which is what everything's laying on right now. This is an emergency tarp that I keep with me. It's literally just one of the cheap ones from Walmart, but it's a nice bright blue. It looks a little duller on the camera, but it's much brighter. So you can use that one to be found, or also you could just use it as extra materials to make another shelter if you needed to. But I always carry that one. It's super lightweight. You don't even notice the difference really. Next to that are my hammock straps, and then I actually have 4 of these, but I only have one of them here. And that is just a nice neon green ratchet strap. I don't actually use the ratchets with it, just the straps themselves. Actually, if you look over here for my shelter, I'm using one, and I use those because they are very reflective, and when you're using a tarp, you have a lot of tie-out points. As you see, there's a black one there, and at night if you're walking around, you don't see those very well. So whenever I have one that has to stick far out like that, I like to use the green ones just for safety, so you're not tripping around your own equipment when you're out camping. Next to that, this is just a little baggie where I keep a lot of pre-cut cordage. That way you don't have to take out your whole thing of paracord and cut one each time. I just cut about, I don't know, maybe a dozen 3-foot strands that I keep in that bag. So it makes it just really way more convenient to set up camp faster. Moving down a little bit, this is my Cold Steel. I think this is the Frontier Hawk. It's a really good lightweight tomahawk. Normally most people would go with a more traditional hatchet, which I do plan on getting one, but this works really well for now. This is just a cheap multi-tool for fixing anything that needs fixing. Also, it's a multi-tool. There's really not much to explain. This is the Condor Rodan. I believe it's actually discontinued. I don't see it on their site anymore, but it is a great bushcrafting knife. Very hefty, very thick. Great chopper. Great for doing fine work if you need to make snares or anything like that. Great knife. Holds a really good edge. This is just a neck wrap. I'm sure everybody's seen people wearing those with everything going on with COVID-19 and everything. I like wearing that as either a bandana or to cover my face if there's a lot of gnats flying around. They love getting in your face this time of year, so very nice to always have one of those. Rain poncho, self-explanatory. I also carry one of these fishing hats. I don't really wear hats very often, but when I do, to keep the sun out of my eyes, I prefer a fishing hat over a ball cap. Moving on to food. I always carry waters. I don't always carry bottles. Sometimes I do have a water bottle, like a Nalgene or something. But this time I just had water bottles. I was just in a rush, didn't feel like cleaning the one that needed to be cleaned. Next to that, this is a Stanley cook set. You can get these at Walmart for, I think, like 15 bucks. Very nice. It comes with, it's hard to open this one-handed and show you. Comes with 3 of these, but I only have 2. These are just little drink cups. I'll use 2 of those, but it comes with 3. But the main thing, I really don't use the cups that often, but this is a great thing to cook out of. Very nice. Something I love to eat on the trail. Chunky chili mac, always nice to have. And then you could always also use the actual can. If you didn't have one of these, you can actually use this can to boil water afterwards. You can keep that around as a cup itself. Over here, just another pot to cook out of. Sometimes I like to have ramen, so I always cook that in that. Some chewy bars, This is the Taurus G2C. I always carry this with me everywhere I go. On top of that, there's just a cleaning cloth. I use that to clean both my cooking utensils. And then moving down, this cordage I rarely use. It's just in case of emergency. Sometimes it's always nice to have some thicker cordage if you need to tie something more securely. But I also have some thinner nylon cord as well as a bunch of paracord in there, and I have another bag of it as well. I just didn't feel like it was necessary to put a whole bunch of cordage in here. Moving down here, this is just extra pair of socks, extra shirt, and then some deodorant. It's nice to stay clean if you can out in the wilderness, but also sometimes you get really dirty, and when you get back to your car, you like to switch out and get just a little clean so you're not completely disgusting when you go back into society. Just a nice survival book to read when you're out here. Normally, I do actually get pretty good cell reception wherever I go, but when you don't, it's nice to have a book, and what better book to have than something that actually is useful. Above that is my fire making kit. In here, I have a ferro rod, this one's actually pretty well worn. I need to get a new one. As you can see, that is pretty well worn there. And then I have this really cheap, like, I don't know, 99-cent pocket knife I use as a striker. This is literally like a 99-cent gas station pocket knife. I think these are like great to use with a long ferro rod like this, just because the sparks you can get are way bigger than anything you can get with like a standard striking rod. So that all stays in there. That's in a nice little bag. Keep it dry. I keep that at the top of my pack. That way it stays extra dry. This is just for wet conditions like today. Just helps getting that fire started when it's being a little iffy. And then underneath that is a lime green dry bag. I actually use that for collecting dry brush and whatnot. And I stick it all in there. That way, whenever you get to where you're going, you know that you have some dry tinder to get a fire started. Whew, it's getting a little hot. It's rainy, but it's still very humid out here today. And then here, this is just another backup. I already have my daily watch on. I don't actually ever wear this. This is just nice to have a watch, just in case something does happen to the one you're wearing. If it gets wet and ruined, you always have this one. This also is a bit of a little survival watch here. If I can, yeah. So it also has a striker and a ferro rod plus a whistle. So that's why that's there. Just another kind of little multi-use item. Just a standard pair of gloves. I typically have like 2 or 3 pairs of gloves with me. I have a pair that I wear before it gets wet, and then I switch them out when they get wet, and I try to dry the other one. That way you just always have a pair of gloves that you can use. This is just my cheap hammock. It's a 2-person hammock, just so you get a little bit extra room when you're out by yourself. And then just a flashlight. This all fits very well inside my get that right there, my Teton Sport Scout 3400. That is a great pack. It is very durable. I've had that for about a year. There are literally 0 cuts, 0 tears, rips, anything like that. And it holds everything really snugly. You're not getting like back pains. It's not pulling off your body. You can really adjust it well. So that's my kit. I just figured I'd make some kind of video for you guys today. Please just rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.